According to renowned boxing champion George Foreman, all the experts who trashed the McGregor-Mayweather fight should apologize. It was competitive.
This is what George Foreman said. And indeed, the establishment boxing is in a bit of a PR crisis. Even some Floyd Mayweather fans are in a PR crisis right now because McGregor's performance blew everyone's not everyone's, not my expectations. I gave McGregor a 75% chance of winning, and honestly, at the end of the day, I'd say it still is a 1-0 for Conor McGregor because it was still a win. It was a win for McGregor. It was a win for MMA because now the boxing establishment has to acknowledge. They have to acknowledge MMA as a legitimate and respectable sport.
Two different worlds and one thing in common.
Boxing used to say that MMA was a animalistic, barbaric sport. Floyd Mayweather is on record saying that MMA is a sport. You do that with animals. MMA is for animals. It's not for humans.
You can't take my shoes off and take my shirt off and just throw me in a cage. You do that with animals. You can't do that with you don't do that with humans.
All this naysaying and belittling and trying to elevate boxing into this category of a sweet, divine, and holy science. And yet look what happens. An MMA fighter with no professional record in his debut amateur performance goes 10 rounds with the best ever, won 4 rounds. And honestly, the real thing that held back McGregor wasn't his punching or his ability to dodge or his ability to calculate. It was his fucking cardio, which, by the way, is what lost him the fight to Nate Diaz. But Conor redeemed himself in the rematch to Nate Diaz. But that's a side issue. We're not here to make excuses. We're here to point out that even George Foreman, professional boxing champion, even he said that the boxing elitists massively miscalculated and misjudge McGregor's potential. And so boxing is in a PR crisis. Floyd Mayweather was humble enough to always say that McGregor stands a chance. He's a fighter, and he wins most of his fights standing up. So respect to Mayweather for not getting on the boxing elitist bandwagon, pretending that McGregor won't land a single punch. So, yeah, I think this whole deal was a major win for MMA. MMA has to be regarded with so much more respect now. Boxing, their high horse. Boxing can no longer stand on that arrogant high horse. It was a picture. Floyd Mayweather posed in a photo with Nate Diaz, and the caption was, "We both have something in common," and that is that they both have defeated Conor McGregor. But it's just ironic to me that Floyd Mayweather would even be standing with an MMA fighter after Floyd said that MMA is a sport for animals, that it's not for humans. So to me, that's where the real victory is in all of this. The real victory in all of this, the real 1-0 in all this, is that it's a symptom that MMA is gaining popularity and is an undeniable sport that demands the respect of boxing and really the sports world in general. You can no longer just write off MMA as a sport for animals, like Mayweather said years ago. That's the real victory in all this. And like people said before this fight ever happened, McGregor had absolutely nothing to lose. And the burden was on Mayweather to preserve his respectability and the respectability of boxing, because no one ever really expected the amateur to succeed in a foreign sport. But goddamn did he perform really well.